affliction? Do I not fade? Do I not dwindle? Why my skin hangs about me like an old lady's loose gown? I am withered like an old apple john. Well, I'll repent, and that suddenly while I am in some liking. I shall be out of heart shortly, and then I shall have no strength to repent. And I have not forgotten what the inside of a church is made of. I am a peppercorn, a brewer's horse, the inside of a church. Company, villainous company, hath been the spoil of me. Sir John, you are so fretful, you cannot live long. Why there is it? Come sing me a body song. Make me merry, I was as virtuously given as a gentleman need to be. Virtuous enough, swore little, dice not above 7 times a week. Went to a party house once in a quarter of an hour. Paid money that I borrowed 3 or 4 times. Live well and in good compass. And now I live out of all order, out of all compass. Why you are so fat, Sir John, that you must needs be out of all compass, out of all reasonable compass, Sir John. You don't move that face, and darling, in my life, thou art a admiral, thou bearest the land in the blue. But 'tis in the known to thee, thou art the knight of the burning lamp. Oh, Sir John, my face does you no harm. No, I'll be sworn I make as good use of it as many a man doth of a death's head or a memento mori. I never see thy face, but I think upon hellfire and dives that lived in purple, for there he is in his robes, burning, burning. If thou wert anyway given to virtue, I would swear by thy face. My oath should be by this fire that's God's angel. But thou art altogether given over and burnt indeed. But for the light in thy face, the sun of utter darkness, when thou rannest up Gatshill in the night to catch my horse, if I did not think thou hast been an ignis fatuus or a ball of wildfire, there's no purchasing money. Oh, thou art a perpetual triumph, an everlasting bonfire light. Thou hast saved me 1,000 marks in links and torches, walking with thee in the night betwixt tavern and tavern. But the sack that thou hast drunk me would have bought me lights as good cheap at the dearest chandlers in Europe. I have maintained that salamander of yours with fire any time this 32 years. God reward me for it. Blood, I would my face were in your belly. God of mercy, so should I be sure to be heartburn. How now? Baby public to hear. Have you inquired? Yep, you picked my pocket. I said, John, what do you think, Sir John? You think I keep thieves in my house? I have searched, I have inquired, so has my husband, man by man, boy by boy, servant by servant. The tithe of a hair was never lost in my house before. Yeah, lie, hostess, one off was shaved and lost many a hair, and I'll be sworn my pocket was picked gold too. You are a woman, go, who I know I defy thee. God's light, I was never called so in my own house before. was to start off with shaving, lost many a hair. And I'll be sworn my pocket was picked to go to. You are a woman, go through. I know I defy thee. God's light, I was never caught so in mine own house before.
Sir John, I know you, Sir John, you owe me money, Sir John, and now you pick a quarrel to beguile me of it. I bought you a dozen of shirts to your back. Whose blood I put my face were in your belly. Dollars, filthy dollars, I have given them away to bakers' wives, and they have made bolters of them. Now as I am a true woman, Hollander 8 shillings an ell, you owe money here. Besides, Sir John, for your diet and by drinkings and money lent you £4.20. Whose blood I put my face were in your belly. He had his part of it, let him pay. He, alas, he is poor, he had nothing.
Oh, poor looked upon his face, but call you rich? Let them coin his nose, let them coin his cheeks.
They'll not pay denial. What, will you make a younker of me? Shall I not take mine, hasten mine in, but I shall have my pocket picked? I want the seal ring of my grandfather's worth 40 mark.
Oh, Jesu, I have heard the prince tell him, I know not how oft that ring was copper. How the prince is a jack, a sneak of the splood, and he were here. Oh, cudgel him like a dog, if he would say so.
Oh, that is the wind in that door. I play, must be on more.
Yeah, to a new gay fashion. My love, I pray you hear me. I'll tell you now, listen quickly, how does my husband? I love him well. He is an honest man. Could my Lord give me 50 letters and listen to me? Say it's down, Mr. Quickly. How does my husband? I love him well. He is an honest man. Could my Lord give me 50 let her alone and listen to me, to me, to me?
What says that, Jack? The other night I fell asleep here behind the arrows and had my pocket picked. This house is turned funny house. They picked the pockets. What did thou lose, Jack? Wilt thou believe me how 3 or 4 bonds, a 40-pound apiece, and a seal ring of my grandfather's, a trifle, some make any matter. So I told him, my Lord, and I said, I heard your grace say so. And my Lord, he speaks most finely of you, like a foul-mouthed man as he is, and said he would cudgel you. But he did not.
There's neither victory nor woman in the elves. There's no more faith in thee than in a stewed prune, nor no more truth in thee than in a drawn fox. And for womanhood made there beyond may be the deputy's right of the war to thee. Go, you thing, go. Say what thing, what thing, what thing, what thing to thank God on. I am no thing to thank God on. I would thou shouldest know it. I am an honest man's wife, and setting thy knighthood aside, thou art a need to call me so.
Say he would cut you in your. Did I, boy, don't? He said, Joe, you said so. Yeah, if he said my ring was copper, I say it's copper. There's no be as good as that word now. One on follow. As I offer man, I go. But as I offer, I feel it. As I feel the roaring of a lion's whelp. And why not as the lion? The king is to be feared as the lion. Dost thou think I'll fear thee as I fear thy fallen dead? I do, I pray God not devil away. Oh, if it should, I would back up all about bad needs. But to us, there's no room for faith, truth, nor honesty in this bosom of thine. It is all filled up with guts and mid-riff charge. An honest woman with picking thy pocket. Why thou whoreson, if you didn't bust rascal? If there were anything in thy pocket, the tavern revenues, memorandums of bawdy houses, and 1 for a penny worth of sugar candy to make thee long-winded. If thy pocket were enriched with any other injuries with these, I am a villain, and yet you will stand to if you will not pocket up wrong. Art thou not ashamed? First thou hear how thou knowest in the state of innocency and fell. And what should poor Jack false thou do in the days of villainy? Thou seest I have more flesh than another man, and therefore more frailty. You confess then you picked my pocket. It appears so by the story. Hostess, I forgive thee. Don't make ready breakfast. Love thy husband. Look to thy servants. Cherish thy guest. Thou shalt find me tractable to any honest reason. Thou seest I am pacified. Still nay, prithee be gone. Money is paid back again.